Welcome to the Turing Test. Today's matchup is an electrifying head-to-head between two AI titans, one from OpenAI and the other from Anthropic. We've got ChatGPT and Claude ready to rumble in a friend but fierce face-off.
I'm pumped. This is like watching two heavyweight champions in a ring. What kicks things off for us?
Let's start with the big question. Does size matter? And I'm not talking about, egos, but context windows. Claude-3 launched with a remarkable 200,000 token window, and it even hints at expanding up to 1 million for select partners. It's huge, literally giving it a suitcase big enough to pack all your favorite epics.
Right. And then there's ChatGPT, which took a swing with GPT-4.1, flaunting its 1 million token context window. I mean, that's almost like fitting the entire English Wikipedia into a single conversation.
Exactly, though let's be real. Most everyday prompts barely scratch 10k tokens, so that mega window really shines when you're dealing with novel-length contracts or deep legal discovery.
Absolutely.
It's like having a massive chalkboard when you just need a notepad sometimes.
True. But speaking of deep dives, what do you make of that claim by Claude about near-perfect recall? I've heard users saying GPT sometimes forgets mid-conversation.
Yeah, Claude 2's near-perfect memory. Almost like it remembers every little detail like a veteran librarian. However, in practice, GPT models sometimes do forget or get a bit scattered, though that might actually come from prompt engineering challenges.
I can see that point, but isn't it also about the trade-off between having a vast context and actually processing that info reliably?
Right, and that's where safety and operational design come in. Now, let's move on to safety. Claude banks on what they call constitutional AI. It trains on a written constitution, kind of a mix of the UN Declaration of Human Rights with a software license. It's geared toward preventing naughty outputs on its own.
In contrast, ChatGPT leans heavily on reinforcement learning from human feedback, RLHF. And while that gives it a broader nuance, it also introduces occasional weird answers, because, well, humans are messy teachers.
Absolutely. It's like comparing a strict referee with a friendly coach. Some, like researchers, argue that constitutional AI can reduce bias drift over time, while others, respectfully, point out that a static constitution can overlook evolving cultural norms. Think of it as traffic laws written once without any updates.
I do get that, but I do wonder if the safety nets in ChatGPT's design, multiple techniques with RLHF and system messages, might actually adapt better to new scenarios than a fixed set of rules.
That's a solid point, and it really illustrates how both camps have their philosophies. One racing toward universal capability, and the other laser-focused on alignment and safety. It's an ongoing tug of war.
Now, moving on to multimodality. ChatGPT's GPT-4.0 rolled out with the ability to listen, see, and even speak. Seriously, you can point your phone at a broken bike chain, and it'll tell you the right tool.
Exactly. It's like the movie Her meets your everyday toolkit. Whereas Claude, for now, remains text first, but they've mentioned a multimodal roadmap in future updates. This gives ChatGPT a distinct edge for everyday language lessons, quick translations, and even accessibility features.
Even more, ChatGPT's multimodal ability is pretty awesome for those in-the-moment interactions. Imagine a visual walkthrough while cooking or fixing stuff.
Right. But ironically, Claude's strength lies in long-form reasoning. Big law firms and research labs really love that precision when they're dozing through massive contracts. It's like having a super detailed blueprint when you really need to see the whole picture.
I'd say it's almost a matter of taste. Do you want a Swiss Army knife or a scalpel? In any case, effectiveness depends on the task at hand.
Now let's talk about access and cost. ChatGPT Plus costs about $30 a month for GPT-4 level access. Plus they maintain a free tier with GPT 3.5. That's quite a range, right?
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Claude offers a freemium web chat with a pro version at $25 and volume discounts via API. Token pricing comparisons are a hot topic among developers, and the pricing gap seems to be a seesaw as both sides are slashing rates.
Exactly. And on the enterprise front, ChatGPT Enterprise boasts SOC 2 compliance, data controls, and flexible deployments. Meanwhile, Anthropic's Claude is seamlessly integrated with platforms like AWS Bedrock.
Right
ensuring
on.
smooth operations in existing tech stacks.
And that brings us to the ecosystem. ChatGPT has built an expansive GPT store with over 10,000 plugins, which means you can summon Zillow listings, run Wolfram Alpha mid-conversation, and more.
True, it's a whole plugin bazaar at your fingertips. Claude, on the other hand, sticks to a tighter API and integrates deeply with tools like Slack and Notion. It's a more streamlined approach, focusing on the essentials rather than a marketplace of extras.
I'd say that even within ecosystems, there's something to be said for reliability over bells and whistles. But not everyone feels that way, right?
Absolutely. And here's a respectful challenge. I'd argue that having a plugin ecosystem can sometimes be a double-edged sword. While it offers versatility, it also opens the door to potential security lapses if third-party integrations aren't managed properly. How do you see that?
Right, gotcha. Yeah, I see your point. It's like having a car with limitless customization options. Cool, but if you're not careful, you might end up breaking the engine. Moderation and stringent checks become important.
Now, if we zoom out a bit, the battle really reflects diverging philosophies. OpenAI is all about pushing for universal capability, multimodal, extensive ecosystems, while Anthropic is laser-focused on safety and deep integration with a tighter control framework.
Sure, exactly.
Each approach has its merits depending on what you need.
I think it really boils down to the user's context, whether you're an everyday user looking for that visual, responsive help or a legal eagle needing deep contract analysis.
Right. It's like choosing between a modern smartphone with all its apps versus a dedicated tool built for a specific purpose. Both have their own niche.
So where does that leave us? Who wins this battle of the bots?
Well, honestly, it depends on the task. If you're in need of a multi-talented AI buddy that can do everything from reading whiteboards to answering voice commands, ChatGPT's multimodal prowess is a no-brainer.
And if you're all about processing, say, deep legal documents or massive code bases while keeping bias to a minimum, Claude's giant context and constitutional safety measures are hard to beat.
Exactly. And the cool thing, by 2025, many teams aren't forced to pick one. They can run both in parallel, assigning each task to the model that's best suited. It's like having different camera lenses for different shots.
I love that analogy. A versatile toolkit, no single tool being perfect for all jobs.
Something that really excites me is the future of this space. Both providers are not resting on their laurels. They're continuously iterating. For instance, ChatGPT's multimodal upgrades and Claude's roadmap to include similar features show that competition drives innovation.
Yep, absolutely. Competition keeps pushing the envelope. But sometimes I wonder, can consistent iterations ever fully bridge the gap? There will always be divergence in their core philosophies.
That's a fair critique. It's like comparing an artist's free-flowing creative process versus an engineer's precision. You might appreciate both, but will always lean on one depending on your mood and moment. And that's what keeps the discussion so lively.
So, whether you're Team ChatGPT with its vast context, plugin extravaganza and multimodality, or Team Claude with its focused recall, deep integration, and safety-first approach, the key is to experiment.
Right on. Listeners, take these insights, test out both models, and decide which fits your needs best. It's like choosing the right coach for the challenge at hand.
Exactly.
And who knows, tomorrow's champion might be the combination of both.
Indeed. Thanks for this epic breakdown. Stay curious, explore daringly, and let us know which bot ends up being your go-to partner in innovation.
That's a wrap on today's Battle of the Bots. Remember, folks, keep those prompts creative and the conversation lively. Till next time.